Okay, see, smartphones in India have changed a lot in the last few years. They are not just faster and smarter, they're also getting more expensive. Like, as per a latest report, the fastest growing smartphone segment in India is, like, wait for it, take a guess, more than 45,000. That's why you suddenly see every brand has a flagship killer or flagship now.
Hey, I'm cool, I'm quick, and I come with 120-watt power!
Looks cool and energetic.
I am balanced. I last longer. And the best part, I don't lose my cool.
The mature friend who still games.
Balanced, huh? Well, I've got flagship camera, pro level portrait, and I can game all day without breaking a sweat. That too in a slim and stunning body.
हाँ, शर्मा जी का बेटा.
अरे get that one bro, वो अच्छा है.
Don't get that one, that's a bad phone.
अरे bro उसका कैमरा तुमने देखा है?
उसका कैमरा बहुत बकवास है.
अरे bro भी उसको कुछ नहीं पता.
I'm confused yaar. Which smartphone should I buy?
Well, jokes apart, let's compare these phones head to head. Let the flagship killer battle begin. Let's go. Now, starting off with the design, see, someone spending 40,000 does care about the design, glass protection or IP rating the phone comes with. So the GT7 here looks slightly different from its flagship. It is much more classy with a simpler icy blue color. It has this matte glass back with red highlights around the camera island along with a red colored button. This reminds me of the Pixel. Now on top of this, it also comes with an IP68 plus IP69 rating, whereas the OnePlus 13R on the other hand goes for a more flagship vibe. Like, it's similar to its elder brother. The 13R has an independent camera island. Some people like it, some people don't. It doesn't bother me that much, so I'm fine with it. It has a smooth metal frame with frosted glass back. If you tilt the phone a little bit under the light, you can see those concentric shiny circles. Looks cool. Now with the T4 Ultra, like, I prefer this black color compared to the marble tile flooring finish that they have. But the camera island feels very weirdly placed, and if you're not using a cover, it keeps poking your finger like this, like you get that ick. Now in terms of glass protection, only OnePlus 13R uses Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, whereas the other two use some different type of glass protection, different vendors. So in design, it varies from person to person. For me, the 13R and the GT7 gets a point, whereas the T4 Ultra gets half a point because of that camera island that icks me. Now moving on to the next thing you'll stare all day. Display. All three phones here have a 120Hz AMOLED display, while GT7 and OnePlus 13R have a flat display. Vivo T4 Ultras has a quad curved display. By the numbers, it seems like GT7 is the brightest display. Claps, that's how marketing works. More number is better. Well, here's the twist. If you play the same HDR video on all the three phones, in camera the difference might not look that evident, but the T4 Ultra looks brighter and has better colors. In the GT7 it looks yellowish, and on the 13R the color looks washed out. But you must be thinking, chalo, it's HDR videos, this might happen. But what about movies on Netflix or other OTT apps? See, the GT7 and T4 Ultra looks similarly bright. The 13R is slightly less bright, and we tested this even in outdoor scenarios. All the three phones are adequately bright. You will not find a difference if you don't see these phones side by side. Rest, all of them support HDR on Netflix, which is good to see because when you pay a premium of 40,000 rupees, HDR in OTT apps is good to have. Overall in display from quality aspect, the T4 Ultra and GT7 gets a point and the 13R gets half a point because it's fine, but since we are comparing, it is slightly less bright, so someone has to lose. Now, before we get to the camera, I think a crucial part of your phone is the software experience. All the three phones are running on Android 15 with different Android skins. Both the Realme UI and OxygenOS 15 are very smooth to use. The UI has improved quite a lot if you see from the previous years. But one interesting thing, see in the OnePlus 13R and GT7, if you see the app animation, settings page, even the quick settings and notification panel, they are exactly the same. So Realme UI is equal to OxygenOS 15 because both of them have the same ColorOS DNA. At this point, even bloatware is not a difference. All the three phones comes with pre-installed bloatware. You can easily uninstall them. But my complaint is with Vivo T4 Ultra. See, FunTouchOS along with the bloatware has this extra hot apps and hot games folder. Now to turn them off, you have to go inside the V App Store, but it can be done. See, the thing is, overall the UI on FunTouchOS feels a step behind compared to the other two, and I'm just talking about the looks and aesthetics. It just feels like it is stuck in Android 12 where the world has moved on to Android 15. Now coming to the features features of 2025 smartphones, AI. The GT7 and the OnePlus 13R have all the required AI features. A good option on both GT7 and OnePlus 13 is AI reply. So suppose if you are in the middle of we need to talk situation, the AI reply can be your savior. The best part is the AI reply can suggest replies to English chats as well. Now in terms of software update, the GT7 is promised to get 3 plus 4 years of software updates. Then the OnePlus 13R is promised to get 4 plus 6 years of software update, whereas the T4 Ultra is said to receive 3 plus 4 years of software update. So overall in software point of view, Realme and OnePlus have caught up, so they both get a point, whereas the T4 Ultra gets half a point. Now there are rumors that FrontTouchOS 16 will receive a big redesign from FrontTouchOS 15. So let's see how that goes. And now coming to the part which most of you were waiting for, the cameras. See, all the three phones come with a triple camera setup, and on paper, the GT7 and the Vivo T4 Ultra has better camera setup. But is it true in real life? So all three phones by default had some beauty mode, some different color profile on. We turned them off and then took the photos. If you see the photos, the GT7 clicks the photos close to natural. The 13R makes the photos look yellowish, and the T4 Ultra makes my skin tone white and the colors seem a bit flat. The issue is not just in skin tone or colors. Even if you see in other photos from the main camera, they are soft. Even in the portrait mode, the GT7 looks good. The colors, skin tone are close to natural, but all three phones have not blurred the background properly in selfies. All three phones click good photos. Overall, the cameras, I expected the T4 Ultra to win by margins, but it turns out to be the opposite. GT7 gets a point. The T4 Ultra gets half a point. Now, see, great cameras need great stamina. Battery. The GT7 here comes with a 7000 silicon carbon battery, whereas the OnePlus 13R comes with a 6000 mAh lithium ion battery. And the T4 Ultra here has a 5500 lithium ion battery. And in our usage of scrolling reels, watching movies and videos, playing games and all of that, on a single charge, the GT7 here lasts longer than the other two. And speaking of charging, all three phones have super fast charging. Now, do note that all the three phones miss on wireless charging, but having said that, all of them get a point each. Finally, coming to the most awaited part, performance. The GT7 comes with MediaTek Dimensity 9400E processor, whereas the OnePlus 13R comes with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and the T4 Ultra comes with MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus. Now, the MediaTek 9400E and 9300 Plus here are special processors, because usually a phone's processor comes with a prime, performance and efficiency core, but these two processors, they are on full power mode, there's no efficiency core. Now in storage, the T4 Ultra has UFS 3.1 storage, whereas the other two phones have UFS 4.0 storage. Now we ran the Antutu benchmark, which runs the phone's CPU, GPU, RAM, etc. to max power and gives a score to it. And if you look at the scores on three phones, the GT7 and 13R are almost in the same range, whereas the T4 Ultra is slightly behind the other two. In CPU throttling test, the T4 Ultra has throttled less compared to the other two, but more or less the same results. Now these are benchmarks. You can read about them and even see them in brand advertisement. The real question is, do the same benchmark results transfer in real life usage? So we tested these phones to the max. We tested all three phones with two demanding games, BGMI and the newly hyped Wuthering Waves, for half an hour each. And here's what we observed. In BGMI, the GT7 can play at 120 FPS, and after half an hour of gaming, the temperature was around 34.1 degree. On the T4 Ultra, it can play BGMI at 90 FPS and the gameplay was smooth. The device didn't feel warm and the temperatures were around 28.5 degrees. Surprisingly, on the 13R, in settings, it shows the option of Ultra Extreme, however you get only 60 FPS. To get 120 FPS, you need to enable the frame rate booster, but this is that fake interpolated 120 FPS. But then again, the gameplay was smooth, and after half an hour of session, the temperature was around 33 degrees. Now in Wuthering Waves, which is a bit heavy to play, in the GT7 you can play it max at high graphics on 60 FPS. We were getting around 50 FPS and there were a few frame drops here and there, especially during the fight scenes. The temperature at the end of half an hour was around 38.1 degree. On the T4 Ultra, it can play on high graphics at 60 FPS and the gameplay here was smooth. Even it didn't feel that warm as the temperature was around 35.1 degree. On the 13R, it handled high graphics at 60 FPS without any issues. The game stayed stable. The temperature was okay at around 33-34 degree. No thermal throttling, no frame drops. So the 13R and the T4 Ultra here in gaming performance is slightly more consistent compared to the Realme GT7. So the 13R and the T4 Ultra gets 1 point, whereas the GT7 gets half a point. I was expecting Realme to perform better here. Now, this might come as a shocker, like by the end of this video, even we were surprised by the winner, but on the scorecard, the Realme GT7 is the winner. Now, camera segment was the only thing where the Realme took the lead. Now, I do have to tell you that the Realme GT7 camera is inconsistent in terms of light control or contrast. Some of the time it takes really bad photos, but 7 out of 10 times when it takes good photo, it is better than the other two phones. See, remove the scorecard. I'll give you one simple conclusion to choose the best phone for you. See, if you want a good looking phone with decent camera and good performance, the T4 Ultra is the one to go. But if you're confused and you just want one phone that does everything well, like good performance, smooth software, excellent battery life, then the OnePlus 13R is the most balanced phone to get in this segment. Now for the Realme GT7, I believe this is the most underrated phone in this price segment. So someone who wants really good performance and camera, but you can compromise on the software and the ad situation, I think Realme GT7, if you get it around 30 to 35,000 in discount, it's a really solid buy. On that note, if you're using any of these phones, do drop in your review. We'll pin them. It will be helpful for the community. And on that note, this is Blake signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew, pew. Pew.